because we had to get the stuff out of the ground because it's like, is it getting giant?
Can you imagine preparing that, no pesticides, no wax, not sitting in boxes for days? So this is what we have the ability to be able to provide to the community. Cherries are, cherry tomatoes are coming, which are sweet like syrup, okay? And we've got apples out there on the tree, which are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my whole life. We had peaches last year, and all this was like great fruit, just really, just fresh, just from right off the tree. It was just amazing. So I've just, if I'm going on about it, it's because I appreciate the fact that we are able to provide this to the community, and the city hadn't thought of it.
Yeah. And just to say, I really appreciate, everything you're saying, Kenge, and, it's such an incredible honor to work in the beautiful Gary Brooks Black Power Garden, and Kitty has also been, really helping to manage it for about 6 years with Mr. Gary. And anyway, we're going to talk more about it, but just to say this, we give away, APDF gives away about 1,000 pounds of food every year, just with this tiny garden. And this is going to expand enormously, this year and next year with the whole new garden up the street that APDF is going to be, doing. So we'll just walk across and
Are we
look
gonna
at the.
see the new garden? Up that-
Yeah, we're gonna go by.
See that? Bell peppers. Wow. Right. Great.
That is a great piece of okra. I love
And
that
the
piece of
rain
okra.
here makes
It's
it
really too big.
No, never okra.
It's never that big. I never seen okra that big.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. They love it.
Where you're now.
Correct.
Yeah, right in Sadie.
Winner both the worlds, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with that.
Look real hard on the tomato plant. Oh, they're starting to turn red.
Yeah, look at the little red.
Oh yeah, they're starting to
see
turn.
one, I
All
see
right,
one.
yes.
Oh my God, Kenge, look at this.
Woo, yes.
There's a whole
Tomatoes.
branch of little
Fresh
tiny-
tomatoes.
Okay, let's give them.
I love cherry
Yes.
tomatoes. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, these have been great. Absolutely great.
Everybody want a little
I
tomato?
know, try one. You gotta try one. Nothing like them. Telling you.
Fresh tomato.
Uh-huh.
Wow, beautiful.
Yes. For pest control? Yeah. For pests.
You saw inside what was harvested and then more to come. The summer is just starting, so lots more tomatoes, lots more cabbage, lots more peppers. Look at those beautiful peppers. And our mural depicts Mr. Gary Brooks, who Garden is named after, who was really instrumental in welcome
be
Kitty
grayish green.
Kitty here on the ground. And we felt that it was Kitty, with all the support that he gave early on in this process, that we named the garden one after him and make sure that he's still here. That he is represented here. And some of the other forces, well, that's me. I don't know how they managed to make that happen. And this, of course,
Look at that cabbage, Kitty.
another one of our veterans, the artist who once we took the project on, actually moved here. People were so impressed by her work that it afforded her the opportunity to be able to move here. So Jamie, the artist, as they call her, you see, I just noticed that she's the only artist that actually signs her, her murals. So you know her work. She also did the one down at the basketball court, which you will find as well. If you look at our beautiful apple tree that's got some apples on it, I'm sorry, but I'm excited.
6 apples. Yep. There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
See a couple small ones over there. They're coming.
Small ones. Hibiscus over here.
Oh, wonderful. Wow.
Identifying the lead lines and the shape that you have.
Okay.
And then pointing it to focus on the lead lines and the ones straight up coming from them.
Okay.
You don't want them to be too low where the fruit falls to the ground. And you just kind of really design and shape it. And it allows for the nutrients to go right smack to the best place for all. Yeah. This one, Mr. Gary put in too. And it had 4 different things coming out of it.
What is it?
It's a peach.
Chairman Amalia Shatella came to St. Louis after the brutal police murder of Mike Brown in 2014. And like it said in the slideshow yesterday, Mr. Gary Brooks, who lived right here in this building that we're going to be looking at in a minute, was skeptical when Deputy Chair Ona Zanea Shatella and the movement, was renovating the Uhuru House. That was the first project. And he didn't think people would stay, because so many people descended on St. Louis after that murder and the incredible courageous resistance of the people, African community in Ferguson. But of course, Uhuru stayed because of the long view that Ikenge was just talking about, that the movement has. And the reason I'm saying that is because so many people are doing urban gardens, which is fantastic. Of course, every community needs fresh food, but this is an anti-colonial garden. And that means it's not just providing food for people, which it is, it's contending with food apartheid, food apartheid, and that's what's existing in this community. It's not something that just happened by accident. It's a policy of keeping the resources. Like Israel is starving Palestinians right now in Gaza. It's the same goddamn system, of colonial terror. And that's what you find in this African community here and everywhere in the US. And so it's really, really important because this is an anti-colonial garden. That's what makes it so important to work here, to be expanding. It's going to be bringing, the garden we're going to go see up the road, which is also going to be much, much bigger. Because this is really an event space with a small garden in it, but still can produce an amazing amount of food for the community. And the garden up the road is going to be doing trainings, training people to do their own backyard gardening or front yard gardening. Training children and providing food for Uhuru Bakery Cafe as well as for the community. And anyway, it's going to be a really important expansion. They've got a grant, to be able to do that. So I just wanted to add that for her. And some of it didn't make it this year. The red cabbages didn't make it, unfortunately. They were fabulous last year. Don't know, but we've got some more zucchinis and different stuff growing there to replace them.
Is that cabbage? That's
The white cabbage is
Oh,
great.
white
The green
cabbage.
cabbage,
Okay.
yeah, is really good. We're gonna harvest some on Saturday morning and have a booth out here to do a community giveaway.
Take a photo now.
Yeah, let's do the photo.
So if everyone can gather under the mural, and I'm gonna get one. Yeah.
You're already in it.
I'm gonna get one, and then if somebody else, I'm gonna get one, and then if somebody else can get one.
Everybody was talking very good ones.
Yeah? Yeah.
Jordan was so impressed. He's like, Dad, Mr. Brooks. I said, yeah, that's okay.
Okay, wait a minute.
All right, so I have a bunch of cameras, so just get comfortable.
I don't think a king is very comfortable.
Okay, you want to come in?
Yeah.
All right, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
All right, there's Redbeard, awesome.
Victory.
All right, great. One more camera.
There were, what was it, two buildings on this land right here, right? They had to take down.
All right, here we go again.
Victory.
All right.
All right.
Freedom. Otherwise you get a ooh.
You gotta see that picture.
Got it.
You got it with Jesse in it? Okay, Redbeard's in it, Jesse's in it, okay. Everybody but Taylor. He's gonna go inside. To inspect, they had to be taken down. And that's all the reparations.
You have to get it right.
Look at this monster.
Thanks out.
This one's done now. Oh my God, there's a huge one right in our face.
And that's a cucumber.
What are you guys having for lunch? We could eat these.
Do you want me to pick it?
Pickling slices.
I know, that's what we need to, that's what we can start doing even, because pickles are really big here in St. Louis. So if we learned how to, I mean, it's one of the things we'll be able to train people how to do.
You want that to keep growing?
Yeah,
That was like too small.
Yeah.
You gotta stand on a
I saw that earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one caught in the fence?
There's a couple that can't get out.
That one's ready, yeah?
It could sit till Saturday.
This is a,
Oh, yeah.
You know you have to pick them before they go to seed. If they go to seed, they'll stop producing. Once they get big enough, they'll start to seed and they won't produce any more
Oh,
cucumbers.
we can't get them too big.
Yeah, so I usually, I mean, they grow fast too, so I'd probably get that one that was,
This one here?
yeah. Like the small one, if it's too small, then you can wait, but
I know everybody wants to move.
there was another one that was a little bit bigger.
Possible for us to get it where we're spread out more evenly.
Yeah. Or, what are
And over there is a rain garden.
But we'll be in it, we'll be at the door.
Katie, do you want to say a couple of words about the rain garden? As we move out?
Would you say, Ellen?
The rain garden.
Oh, okay, see over here, comrades, what we installed over here is a rain garden. And you know what a rain garden is, best practices for, husbanding their land, because it's the lowest point of the garden, and it's got all pollinators, which has brought butterflies and bees into the community, which you get to love. Just taking off and pollinating all over the neighborhood. And also, when it rains, it comes off the roof, we have the irrigation coming down the gutter. It goes right in there, plus the regular rain, and it'll fill up. And it really does that. It fills up about 4 feet. And in about a day, it goes down and prevents runoff into your sewers.
6.
Right here. In order to
Yeah.
not have that in the way, and then you can just zoom out. And we would be able to get the
All right.
But boy, they have to eat it.
We got a water today. I forgot about that.
Some days it doesn't feel, is that in the shade, it doesn't feel that hot. If you're out here in the
And that's part
sun,
of the contradiction with the tornado is it took out so many trees.
yep,
We were just talking about
And
that.
that changes the whole economy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever met Zach, who's on our grants team.
Yeah.
He just got a degree in ecology stuff, and he did a whole thing on race and the environment and stuff.
And like, what's it there? Trees.
Zach.
Zach.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that for every tree you plant in this community, it actually increases the economy.
Wow.
Because people want to come.
It's pretty.
You know, they usually in the door.
Here's your Ikenge, your before and after, some before and after, and then
yeah.
it's coming.
I'm not sure if people can really see this or not. If everybody come on in, we're gonna get out of here because we don't take up the air in a minute, and it's gonna get warm in here.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of the before and after. Mr. Gary actually lived here. This was his home. And what we have done, you will see what we've done here. Right now the place is gutted, but this is the future home of the radio station that'll be coming to St. Louis. Everyone knows that we have a radio station in St. Petersburg, Florida. But here you go, the future home of 94.1 FM Black Power Radio. So you get to see the before, and the next time you're here, this will look totally different. But this is all part of the development of the Black Power Blueprint to really bring this community one together and to provide everything that the community needs. If you haven't been here before and don't know anything about the history of St. Louis, and most specifically the North Side, and if you look around, you will see the remnants of just how vibrant this whole community used to be, but through the Team 4 plan and benign neglect, and the Let It Rock policy that the city has still in place even today, you'll see that a lot of it is destroyed. You will see has gone, is left, and what happens? Then the people leave. So this is all part of bringing the North Side back, bringing the African community back, and again, what you each and every one of you have the ability to be able to participate in and really see, touch, and feel the vision. So,
And it can be the service that the radio station will provide in emergencies, just like it's done in
absolutely. So we won't have to wait for the city to sound the alarm. We'll be able to provide that information, just as we did in St. Petersburg, Florida, by being able to stay on the air during a horrible hurricane that really forced even many of our members out of the city at that time. we were able to stay on and really provide the community with information on where they could go to find shelter, how to protect themselves, how to be safe, and where they could go to find resources. So now, once this is completed, we'll be able to do the exact same thing right here in St. Louis, Missouri.
Stephanie, you want to say about some of the donations? I mean,
Oh, that's right.
the Black Power Blueprint put out the call for donations of, initially it was like non-perishable food and water and stuff like that, and the Uhuru House was filled, as we talked about, but someone else saw that posting, and after a couple weeks, President Onazane Shatella was saying, we need building materials now. The community needs to rebuild. So that's what the promotions team started to post for. Somebody saw that post and drove up and dropped off a donation of these humongous ladders. These are like roofing ladders over here. Just thousands of dollars worth of building materials. Some that are in this building here and some that are located elsewhere to secure, but like plywood, 2x4s, nails, screws, siding, a sink, I don't know, just
Flooring.
yeah, flooring,
Tiles.
tiles.
PVC.
Right.
Just anything that you would
It was
need.
Kirkwood
Italian
Homes.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
it was a family business, and they saw the post and they said, "We have things you can bring. Can we bring them now?" And he said, "Yes."
And imagine how surprised we were, especially when they showed up with these ladders.
Right, I didn't know the ladders.
They said these are for you as well. Roofers can't even, spend months and years working to be able to afford to purchase a lot of this equipment that was actually donated to us. So we have the ability to really be able to help the community repair, in a real way.
Uhuru and Kenge, thank you so much. I really appreciated the vision of the party to have a radio station here, have that outdoor venue, things happening on the stage, everybody coming in. The whole thing is so dialectical. But also, APF buildings were damaged too.
Right.
It's just that from day one of the past 50 days, most of the energy has been helping the community. But this roof, not this, there's an upstairs apartment that was actually in great shape after completely, it was great shape, but got terribly damaged. The roof blew right off, and that was the second time. And they wouldn't claim the last windstorm as a tornado. And it blew off then, and so, because they didn't want to shell out any money, but
Right.
so, and then it goes into your second floor, all the sheetrock started falling.
Sure.
All the insulation and it ruined the beautiful floors. You know what I mean? So we're still in the process of now really tackling all of the needed,
Roof landed in the garden.
Yeah.
The roof landed in the garden, but the tree broke outside. That was a Cali pear tree, which is an invasive tree, but it had pretty white flowers and it just broke, snapped off onto the garden fence, There's so much that you don't see right now.
So under here, what kind of flooring?
Well, this actually has a subfloor. This all got wet. This all got wet. Look at how the buckle, look at the water still coming in.
Right.
And they,
And imagine this, if you think
It's
this
got
is
good
something,
soft-
this is minimal.
Yeah.
Imagine 5,000 or more people
yeah.
in situations worse than this.
Yeah.
With no help from the city, I might add. All right.
Okay, so I can drive some people, and Kara, you have a car?
Yes.
I'm gonna ride with you,
Katie
Kara.
will ride
And then
with
we'll
you.
fill it up.
Okay.
Who's in your car?
Redbeard.
Just Redbeard?
We want to fill
We're,
up.
we're still in and Indigo
Right here.
in vehicles.
Right here. So in these three, who would be the best person for Indigo to go with us in terms of tour guide on the way?
So we have Allie, myself, Stephanie. We can all drive. And I know Janine has a car. We were thinking
You could pull me out, put a guide in, and I could go with someone else.
that other people can drive your car.
Well, it's Monty's car.
Mona's the driver of Mona's car.
You did the driver, great.
So if I just switched out with somebody who wanted to give my team a tour, but that's where the guy.
You want to go with them? I should drive. Huh? I can. Yeah, you can be the navigator. Yeah. Navigator. That's great. And then
where would I
Justin
go?
and Amanda, you guys are in one car together? Karen, Redbeard.
And Dylan.
Yeah,
Dylan is with us.
And Kitty, right? All right. You guys want to go with me? Where do I go? You have room for I'm just trying to get with their car. Let's go stand next to the car. I'm gonna stand next to Stephanie's car.
Okay, I'm with Kara. Who's with Kara? Okay,
Redbeard is with me.
Bill
Okay.
and Dylan.
This is our car.
All right. Yeah, Redbeard's right. Redbeard is driving?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do the lead car.
Oh, I see, this is where the tree was, huh?
Whoa, whoa, right on the fence. It's a beautiful white
Maybe flowers, you know?
It is the space of trees.
Park all the way down there.
Who am I with? Car over there.
Sure.
Who am I with?
I think you should go in the same car as a Kangay, yeah?
Okay.
Oh, well then I guess.
We can all fit in.
Hey,
It means 3 in the back, but you're all little. Is that good? Is that all right?
Yeah, I think I still have to be on the side.
Yeah, you can do it. Okay, there might be some things back there, sorry.
If I just put
Just put them in the back, I'm sorry, I forgot to take them into Maureen's house.
Do you want to sit behind a Kangay, or is it better for you to sit in it?
Just
They're on.
That
You
was
without a
second of
car?
two
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Stephanie got called to be a navigator.
So there's
Let's see. Oh, it looked like Maureen has.
Maureen might. Oh shoot, she just took off. Well, let's ask her to.
Yeah.
Flag her down.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no room in Maureen's? In Stephanie's?
For starters.
Okay, where are we going?
Is it possible to put the air on up one, or is it?
Put it on what?
Thank you. That.
Hello, do you have room for Sayali? Yeah. Okay.
You already flagged them down.
Oh, he flagged you down already? Okay, great.
Basketball. Okay.
What you're kind of seeing is this lot right here where this tree is bent over is our lot as well, and this building right here. Where do these ladders keep coming from behind this building? Because there was another ladder that was just laying out there in the yard.
Huh. maybe someone's.
And we brought it inside, so I'm wondering if somebody's trying to
Get in there.
Yeah.
And the whole door was off. But fixed it.
If somebody actually picks up mail at that mailbox, it's amazing.
I'm sure they don't make it a regular stop.
You know what? I don't think so. There's only about maybe 2 or 3. That's only the second mailbox that I actually know of. No, 3. There's one down at the vacant bank. And all the roofing that you see on the ground is a result of the tornado, and the bricks that you see piled up is a result of the tornado. They say that St. Louis bricks are money in the bank. So people are trying to save them and hold on to them so that others won't come and profit off of them. Namely buildings outside of it.
Yeah.
No, the newer people aren't here.
Okay.
We see the tree over there. That was, the fence over there.
All up and down this West Florissant, what they call not tornado that happened back in March did the exact same thing. Tore up 800 of years old trees out of the ground just like that. So you see people still have tarps on. It's almost 2 months later, and people still have tarps on their roof. And this is not work that the city has provided for the people. People have had to actually get out and find these tarps and things themselves. Things we were able to donate to help people, get their buildings tarped. This basketball court, every time there's bad weather or weather that they consider not storms or not tornadoes, it's a state-of-the-art court, and it rolls up. And we've come out here thinking, oh my gosh, utter devastation. But it's able to roll back out. But you know who comes and rolls it out?
The community.
The people.
That love the court.
The people. You find pickup games here all the time, and they have attempted to say that, who are you? You put a basketball court in, people never use it, is it open to the public? But yes, it is, and the people are the ones that take care of it. They said, if you put a basketball court in there, people are going to get killed, there's going to be all kind of violence. None of that has happened since this basketball court has been in here, and it is the people that take care of it. We've posted signs, but it's the people that are out here taking care of it. They pick up the trash, they keep the court clean, and they play. They have great pickup games, and they work together. So I think we are able to see, this is just a testament to what the power of the people, really can do. So, and here's another beautiful mural on this wall.
Yeah, can you say a few words about the basketball court? Then we'll talk a little bit about the garden, and then Stephanie's going to talk about inside.
Yep.
Oh, really?
When the party had the vision for the basketball court, it was at a very critical time in the whole struggle for the Black Power blueprint. And like Akenge said at the Uhuru House, there was nothing that didn't come without struggle. I mean, inch by inch. So the aldermen, who have since served several years in prison, anyway, the aldermen tried to undermine this completely, said we absolutely could not build a court here. they united with our one across the street reactionary neighbor, because you can see there's hardly anyone who lives around here.
Yeah.
One reactionary neighbor, you know, doing everything against this. And so they really, really fought it. Because up the street, as a matter of fact, there were like 9 LRA buildings on this block. Now, I think there's 5. Some developer took down 4. LRA means completely decrepit, uninhabitable, but all these young people were living in them. It was providing shelter, 15, 16, 17-year-olds. And they were playing basketball when you see the wire hoop in the street on that plastic thing. But then the police would keep coming by, get off the street, or cars might hit them. No, we're going to build a court. Because African, as the chairman said, African children have to be able to see the sky, have to be able to see a future. And who is it for people to judge like that? They got to have culture. This is culture, part of the cultural life. I mean, every day I pass by going home from work. There's groups, there's families, there's kids of all ages, you know, playing on the basketball court. And the other night, one kid, I just realized, he was standing there like this, looking at the mural. Oh. He was like this, and some other kids were there. You know what I mean? It's like when Jamie, the artist who did the mural by the garden, was doing this mural. I mean, this elderly African woman came up and gave her a hug.
So there's 2 on the bottom floor, 2 on the top floor. We're going to see the 2 on the bottom floor today. And you can see just how beautifully designed and renovated this space is. Usually during the before we leave the Quabbah Hall, we show before pictures of all the different units. We didn't do that today. But it was very similar to the properties that you've seen, where it required a lot of renovation. So it really took it from something that, was not a point of pride in the community, and really made it something that is the very best for the African working class. And that is the stance, of course, of President Ona all the time. So you can see the lovely furniture, and as you can probably guess, the furniture came from Uhuru Furniture in Philadelphia. Comrades Alan and Bob drove the truck hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of miles in the snow, uphill both ways.
We also had to fight the salespeople to get the furniture here.
Right.
All the gorgeous pieces that we kept aside, as we unloaded the truck every day, I would be putting stuff aside as Stephanie wanted. And Ruby would be trying to sell it, or I trying to sell it. And I no, it's going to African Independence Workforce Program.
And it couldn't have a better home, really. The African Independence Workforce Program housing is going to be housing for people coming out of the prison system. So African men and women coming out of the prison system, returning to the community here in North City. And that's what they call a re-entry program. So when people are coming out of prison, re-entering the community, that's the euphemism, used for it. And then the housing is just one part of the AIWP programming. So the housing is a really big part because people can't find housing. That's a big, huge hurdle for coming back into the community. But also we're going to have workforce training. So people will have paid internships like at Uhuru Bakery and Cafe, which is right up here, where they can gain work experience, be paid for their time, reimbursed for their time, and see that their labor is going back into the community, supporting all of the programs for African self-reliance and self-determination. So this program is just ready to go. It just needs funding, and it is ready to be put on the ground. We have connections with Janine and myself have been working for a while under Deputy Chair's leadership. She really, at one point, she was like, you guys got to get out of the office, get out into the world and start talking to people. So we've met with prisons, we've met with the Department of Corrections, the Department of Justice, to be able to have access to incarcerated African people. So in the U.S., 13% of the population is African. But at minimum, the minimum amount of incarcerated African people in the U.S. is 40% of the incarcerated population. And they claim, if you look up these statistics now, they're like, oh, it's going down. The percentage of African people in prison is going down. We know from different organizations that are really studying this, that's only because now they're including mixed race people with white people, whereas before they were incorporating it with black or with African people. So it's a majority of African people, indigenous people, Puerto Rican people, Mexican people that are locked up in these prisons. You know, it's the state of mass incarceration. So here on the north side, where it's like 97% African community, here in this community, this is so needed for people to be able to come back to their community, have the services they need to find work, reconnect with their family, get access to health services, mental health services, all the things the deputy chair has been fighting for years and years and years is going to, you know, take place with the AIWP. And, you know, the party has always said, the people are everything. The people are the ones that make all the change in the world. And so this program in particular is so key. Deputy Chair will say that to all the other programs because it's providing people who can provide labor for all these programs and in turn receive the training and skills that they need to improve their own lives and also see themselves contributing to the, you know, African self-determination and self-reliance. And it's part of the dual and contending strategy of the party overall and APDF specifically. So those were the main things I wanted to say, I think. I just wanted to see if, Janine, you had anything to add. Being part of this
I just want to put you forward. Stephanie spearheads this, and she's been all over the state meeting with, like, prisons, you know, Department of Justice. Not a comfortable situation, but just does it, makes it happen. So I just really appreciate your leadership, and it's just really an honor to work on that team with you.
I can second that. I live in the house where I hear the work out, and so I know that you guys really work hard on this and put a lot of passion.
It is ready to go. It just needs the funding, and we had actually really had a victory where, again, under Deputy Chair's leadership, because the African community is impacted by the prison system. Everyone, every single person, 1 in 3 African men is locked up. 1 in 18 African women is locked up in prison versus like 1 in 20 white men and 1 in 110 white women. Like, this is the impact in the African community. So Deputy Chair is pushing for this. And we had a huge victory. We won you know, this whole training relationship kind of grant with Latino Coalition for Community Leadership that was going to take us through a 3-year process of being able to learn skills and be able to really get the funding to fund this full time. You know, fund it full time, be able to pay people wages, provide them housing, provide them all the services they need. And then the Trump administration, it was a grant that we were getting from Latino Coalition that they were getting from the Department of Corrections, and that was cut. So we lost that, unfortunately. So we're kind of back to square one in a certain way. But there's a lot of opportunities out there of people who now want to really support these kinds of programs, and especially ones that are rooted in the African community like this is. So really, really proud to be part of this vision. The Deputy Chair is really spearheading. I mean, I wish I had time to read you, you know, some of the pieces of the grants that we've written, but of course I won't put those. So this unit is named for, all of the units are named in honor of Mufundi Lake, and you can see that referenced on the wall in every unit. Mufundi Lake was a political prisoner. I don't even know about Mufundi Lake. Mufundi Lake was a political prisoner and actually led the African National Prison Organization of the party that was built in like the 1970s. And you can read his testimony in the book that was just published, Reparations Now, that he gave during the Reparations Tribunal in 1982 in New York City. And it's powerful. You should read it. You should get Reparations Now if you haven't already. So this whole complex is named in his honor, and then each unit is named for another political prisoner who is also whose name is on the door and whose photo and information is in the unit somewhere. So I think this is Matula Shakur is here, and then the one next door. Do you remember the bottom that we're going to?
More sweat and peace.
Stephanie? Yeah. Sundiata Okoli. Yeah, so those are the two that we're going to see.
Will the participants in the program be former residents of the North Side?
It doesn't matter where they lived formally. No, I don't think that matters as much as, I mean, what we want is people who are interested in seeing their labor contribute. What the party wants, what APDF wants, is people who want to give back to the community, to see their labor contribute to the growth of the community. We want someone who's really going to take advantage of those, and be able to gain all of the skills. That's the other thing I was going to say. Because we have been doing the AIWP program for years and years in the institution.
Yes.
Everybody here probably has participated in it. And Uhuru Foods and Pies and Uhuru Furniture, if you've done any work with those institutions, AIWP has existed in there because we were hiring people, we were taking on volunteers, we were bringing on people who are coming out of the prison system, young people who are coming out of juvenile detention, who are doing community service instead of going to prison. All of that training that we had under APDF's leadership went into those folks. We have all that experience. We have those training programs. So now it's just a matter of having to be the standalone program that we can go after the federal funding, to really support because it's out there.
So Stephanie, thank you so much for that overview. And it is a program that's really dear to Deputy Chair because she has family members like most African people do who are in prison. And there's solutions in the community, and that's why these places are beautiful. They don't look like you're going from one prison to another. But we have 45 minutes left for the entire rest of the tour, so take a couple minutes.
Yeah, let's go through the leaders.
And then we have 2 more stops to do in that time as well.
So 2 people are going to be in each unit. I just want to make sure people notice the Enzo pieces as you walk through.
I love that.
Yeah, that's it. I love that.
Great.
Bedrooms in each unit.
What does Enzo mean?
Enzo is an African word that means home, and it's a program started in Uhuru Furniture where we took furniture that really needed a little extra love and incorporated traditional African design and fabrics into it to tie it to the mission of APDF. So you'll see like the desk and the coffee table out there.
Nice.
So this is one unit. There's another one next door. Go ahead. You just see it's a real home.
Yeah.
This is not temporary kind of setup. This is real quality,
Oh, yeah.
lovely space for people. Yeah. Really, really. We didn't turn on the air in this one, sorry. You've been here before. Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Oh.
That's right.
Yes, that's already looks ready to live in.
I love that table. I used to not like that style, but now I love it. Now I love it. I know, right? And you know when Latino Coalition, you were here. No, you weren't here.
No,
When Latino Coalition came in, they were bold. Really? And that told us something. Yeah. Because they do this. Yes. They were like, oh, yeah, we always understand. Yes. Yeah.
That's this.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're never like, "Oh, get to the building." They always state their goal.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
We're ready to go. Just you coming over.
Yeah.
Alright, hopefully everybody had a chance to look around and you haven't seen it before. We need to make sure we can get the other stops, but obviously you can see the exception here.
No, he died in prison. He wasn't that old yet.
We are, yeah. We're thinking about
We're starting to move out.
moving out.
Uhuru!
Uhuru.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I know, we took
She's sitting at
Oh, she was, okay. You and her can talk.
think it gets us out of Cupertino.
No, well, Huntsville, it's pretty sticky there.
Oh, yeah, so you got the humidity as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I think there's a big prison in Huntsville. Is that true?
I'm not familiar, no. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Maybe.
I did not know this. Okay.
Yeah, I could have been mixing up the city.
Huntsville prison.
Out of the ice pan, into the frying pan.
Really?
I wonder how hot it is.
We're
only getting like 100.
You know, they had
Start
part of their
them, so that
program
bad.
at that organization.
Got
Taught
it?
how to read.
There are a couple of small
Could they
ones,
read
not
in
the one I was
solitary?
thinking.
That's like
Oh,
a regular summer. In fact, it's been really cool this year.
Are we going?
Yeah, usually it's like 100 degrees, like
We're walking?
for 40 days out of the year. 50 days out of the year. Get in the car you came in. Pick the cucumbers up, I think I put them up in kind of like milk or whatever from the.
Cucumber milk?
Yeah.
Oh, and this, the
Yeah,
gooey
yeah.
stuff that's in the stem?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't realize they were so prickly. They almost
It's like the blood of the plants.
I know, but what do you call it?
I'm not.
I'll Google it.
I knew I was gonna do what I was doing this morning.
Yeah.
So I said, put on
I
some
mean,
curtains so I can move around.
If we're gonna have an intelligent discussion about the gooey stuff in the plant, we should know what's going on.
So yeah, the garden would be this, if we get the LRA.
This whole area.
Excuse me, it would be that one over there. We've already got this one here that has the name on it. And then it would also be getting some of that back lot as well. So we could have a greenhouse, paving, fruit trees, and a little shady place for people to sit.
And now, did we already pass where the Uhuru Walkley is gonna be?
No,
or
it's right
this?
here. They
This
just
one
need to,
here.
yeah, the
Right
sign.
here, our sign blew down, and you can see it there on the ground, but that's where the women's center, the plan is. And this is just really exciting to watch it all coming together. Mind you, most people don't realize that what's so ironic about this whole struggle that we've had is that this has always been a place that served food.
Right, right. Over 20 years, it's been a restaurant.
Exactly.
And the flagpole's going to go right over there the coming Saturday. It's going to be an African flag flying right on the corner here. So if you were coming around Grand from the freeway, that's what they'll see. African flag, a beautiful restaurant.
Sap, thank you, like tree sap.
Yep.
All right, you got sap on you.
Plant sap.
Is there one more car we're waiting for? Here they are. She said some German car. Yeah.
We're all in this
No, that's it over here. There's a reason for this. Did you see how they did this? That's nice. Yeah, okay. All right, Uhuru, I just want to say a couple words about the bakery, and then I'm going to turn it over to Janice and to Sally, and if Allie wants to say a few words. But what we're standing outside of here was not here before the tornado. That's one thing I want to say. And one thing about the Black Power Blueprint is, as Sally said last night, it did not start on May 16th, and it also did not end on May 16th. And this is just evidence of the resilience and brilliance of the leadership of Chairman Omali Shatella and Deputy Chair. So this building, this extension was added, which meant pouring this foundation, putting this up, and the roof just got put on this week. And I just want to appreciate Deputy Chair, of course, for saying, you know, we have this big kitchen we're planning to build up, but in the meantime, start this. And it's really a jewel on the West Florissant corridor. And it was a battle that really put APDF and the Uhuru movement on the map and put it as part of the contest with the city. So I'm going to turn it over to Sayali and to Janice to give you a quick tour, and then tomorrow some people will get to paint inside here and they can show you where things are going to happen in there. And Allie's been coordinating contractors, Janice is coordinating equipment, and Sally's in a mix of everything. And yeah, Uhuru.
Who did that, George? This is all new right here.
So this patio is going to have chairs and tables.
We're here in March. I know. It exists.
You're all ready.
Yep.
So we have, this is going to be the ADA bathroom right there. We have the rough plumbing in place right now. They just put the drywall in. And so now they're doing the mudding and taping in the extension. There's going to be our additional production space.
We have air conditioning. That's a few hours ago.
Just put in another furnace here. So in this area here is where we're going to have the display case and stuff right here in this area.
That's Paul Kessler, right?
Yeah.
Did he build it?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's coming back.
So as you can see in there, that's going to be where we're going to be doing, doing the production for the pies and things like that. And then we'll have here.
One of those big ovens that we
We're going to have the double stacks.
The double stacks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just found it. Found a double stack open oven.
Has it donated or?
No, but it's used, but they're beacons and whatever you call it.
Just say real quick.
How many can they?
How many pies?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to say right real quick, this wouldn't be possible for the tenacity of Deputy Chair on his name for making this happen, for us to be able to get the permit to do this building. Again, it was a so-called College Hill Neighborhood Association said, no, we don't want it. Is it going to be painted black and all this other stuff? And then, of course, we had to wage a serious struggle only to be turned down for the permit. And of course, we waged the struggle all over again to appeal and won that. And this is the result of winning that appeal, getting this construction work going, having this pad poured and a ramp so that it's wheelchair accessible. This will be wheelchair accessible. We'll have a little bit of seating on the inside, but outside will be seating as well. So this will be an actual sit-down bakery and cafe. It's not going to be one of those takeout joints. That's all they're trying to do is just snatch money from the community. This is going to be like a hub in the community so that people can come in and interact with other neighbors and so forth. Get some good healthy food. And again, the workforce program will be here as well. Getting the training. So this is a wonderful thing. And it's probably been decades since there's been an actual sit-down restaurant on the West Florissant corridor. So, it's the Black Power Blueprint that's really making this happen, making this a reality. And then you'll get a chance some of you will get a chance to get your hands on actually putting some paint on the wall. So
Tomorrow morning.
yes.
Janice, did you want to say anything besides the private tour you just gave back there?
No, sorry, people keep asking me questions, but I mean, it is really important what Sally is saying, because it's how the community is treated, where it's just, take out from a plexiglass window, that you can't interact with anyone. So it's going to be really powerful, and it's going to be what every institution that Deputy Chair, sets up in terms of it'll be beautiful. There's going to be a new ceiling that'll be I don't know how to explain it, kind of look like wood, that there'll be counters up, so you could sit at a stool and look out at the, out the window. You'll be able to see in here where people are doing bakery prep, so you can see the pies being made. There'll be the mixer and prep tables and fridge and freezer and pie press, all the things there. And then back here, there's a 3-compartment sink and prep. There's a mop sink back there. There's the range, the grill, and then we just got a double stack of convection ovens that will go under that hood too. So that'll be, you can do about 50 pies at least at once in those ovens. And sandwich prep, there'll be the menu for the weekdays will be like, breakfast sandwiches or wraps or certain things, and then on the weekends we'll have more pancakes or specials for, and biscuits and, I can't remember everything, but it's working, grids. And also it'll be available for people to order online and to go pick up, so we will have, that's a big thing now, people doing pickups, with, through Toast, which I think uses DoorDash or, one of those, so people can order and get it delivered. It's not that far from from downtown or other areas. What else can I say?
Then we have beautiful counters that Paul Kessler and.
So is it a counter or a display case?
Display case.
Yeah. This is where the counter will be with the display cases, with all the bakers, with all the, stuff to go, the drinks, then we'll have a station back there with the coffee and all of that kind of stuff on it. And it's just gonna be beautiful.
Now we want to show you a house that it was once in, and Kitty was just commenting, the same crew was just over at one of the houses. So, Sally put in the presentation last night about all these relationships with the contractors. It's a really serious thing, and they love the Black Bar Blueprint because they know it's not just outside developers coming in here. And they get work and they get to grow their businesses.
Right.
Huge bathroom. Have you noticed how luxurious bathroom? ADA requirement. I know. Been one bathroom.
Oh, yeah. You have a restaurant, yeah.
ADA compliant. I remember before when these were kind of plexiglass that you couldn't see through, or the windows were covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
This will be
It's
nice.
gonna be all open, you'll have counters, people can sit out here.
And then people can sit out there in the evening.
Yes, we'll have
Maybe
tables.
at some point. Right now, I don't think it's in the budget, but in terms of having tables and chairs out there, or even out here.
And out here in front.
Out here in front over here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Stephanie was saying, I wasn't sure.
Little windows.
Yeah, there's a window here too.
What if, so we own the parking lot, right? What if we wanted to have an event or something that we could do, utilize this space right now?
Exactly.
Absolutely, sorry.
What they want to do.
Also,
And
Deputy Chair just bought that
land
plot
right
over there too.
Just the lot.
Yes.
So you could have a
So that
food
could
truck
be
rally, you could have a marketplace,
all
you
kinds
could
of
have.
stuff.
Land back.
I know, we can have big barbecue,
Sure. You could
cookout
have
nights.
a Top
we can
Chef contest.
Exactly.
Stuff for kids.
Definitely.
Look at that
Just
big
pass
turkey
it.
culture place. Yeah, no.
Aside from the devastation, the amount of open space.
Yeah. Well, that's
Whoa.
part of the devastation. It all used to be happening.
Yeah, San Francisco,
This
there's open
building,
space
they
like
pulled
this.
this down.
Say what?
I don't know if you remember, but this building.
I kind of do.
They just took it down. Yeah. That was a derelict building about 5 minutes ago. They just pulled it down. And this plot of land right here belongs to Terry Rose, who opposed us vehemently for getting the bakery. Next time you all come, it's going to be open. Grand opening.
So many people can't wait.
Oh my God.
Yeah, everybody's excited about it.
Y'all open yet?
No.
When can we
And
get
it hasn't
the
been long
pies?
since the city.
Get what?
Pies.
Pies.
Go get your pies.
Where are we going? Well, 'cause there was nothing, there's nothing around here. That's why.
I think they said to Ferris.
To Ferris, okay.
Oh, you know what? I've got it.
The thingy, I just didn't look.
Come and get brunch when they get out of church.
Yep. And they will.
Pick up their Sunday dinner in the box dinner.
Go to Grand Avenue, then get off at Goodfellow.
Okay, so yeah, we're
going to 5824 Ferris.
Okay, and then
Come down Natural Bridge, and then we'll go on Newstead where that jam is.
yeah. I saw that when I was here last time and we were driving from to the GECO building and we were going down this natural bridge and you could just see like the houses. They look like dollhouse with you could you know with the thing cut away with the wall cut away. And
Yeah.
it's just like,
All right. Well, I wish we had some nice tea right here.
Chicken sandwich.
I guess the car belongs
That would help
to
too.
one of Denise got her sponsor.
So they drove here?
I don't know, actually. I don't know if,
Yeah.
if that's a rental that they got or...
Came from Huntsville.
They drove. Oh, he drove from Huntsville, and they flew here from Portsmouth. Okay. Caravan.
This is the
And here on
tallest
every
column.
corner you have an urban league.
One of the tallest columns anywhere.
And right across from the Urban League, a building that never got any attention.
Yep.
Is that a water
abandoned
tower? Though?
churches.
Isn't that a water tower?
The column.
Okay.
Yeah. What I saw is that it's one of the tallest anywhere.
What? This is?
Yeah, freestanding. It's really tall. It's just a column.
Conquest
What's it
of
for?
what?
I mean,
The conquest of something. It's like,
sure.
is there anything, or it doesn't even have anything that says on it.
Was it a water tower, that one?
I thought it was,
Guess
but
so.
people are saying no. So
Oh, then another church. We
Yep.
have more church.
lots of stuff
Abandoned ones, not
big
little storefronts.
before the tornado.
Like an apartment building or something at one point.
Yeah.
And you can imagine that once the NGA builds to its capacity, how they're going to swoop up a lot of this stuff and do what they won't let the people do. And then, of course, you know, it's going to price everybody out of this entire neighborhood. People are not going to be able to afford to be able to afford to live here.
I mean, some of the houses Indigo that people renovated in this neighborhood are going for $350,000, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
You know, obviously that's not for the African community. That's for the NGA, which is right. Oh, I wish we could show people the NGA. It's right down the street. You know, where the government took 2,000 square feet or 2,000 homes?
2,000 acres.
2,000 acres.
Huge. And it took the homes of everybody and forced everyone to leave.
Yeah, like they did in St. Pete, they built a dome.
Yep.
That, and it's not like they give Africans the opportunity to even go to the damn baseball game. That's
And the other thing about the NGA, it's going to be another one of those toxic military sites, you know, that because they're going to be building those drones. So not only, I guess, it's not just operating, it's going to be building there, right? Constructing the thing.
well, it's not like they're going to tell us, number one.
Yeah,
Number two, it's just going to happen. And when you think about it, it'll also afford them the ability to be able to vamp on the African community immediately.
Right.
Because this will be another center for the entire world, not just, St. Louis, but for the world. So anytime anything is happening, the center of it will happen here. And I think about the minimal or nominal, if you will, amount of Africans that will actually be able to be employed through the whole process.
Yeah, when I heard that they were doing that train from the south side to the NGA, then you knew they weren't trying to get anybody locally, which you knew already, but for them to say there's 3,000 jobs, they're so excited, but you know that's not going to go to anyone, and their whole plan is to move people up from the south side or from out of state.
Yep. And I don't think you would necessarily find a large number of Africans that would actually even want to work for, the NGA. It's not like GM, that was here. I understand at one point, large plants that employed, hundreds of people, thousands of people. Because it didn't take a security clearance. What it took was skill, or to be able, the ability to be able to learn a repetitive, kind of job. But you can even see how a lot of the stuff down here has closed. There's a big sign that says Hostess Bakery. Well, the bakery is gone. Now it's just a sign. So all of that type of access, is gone.
It's like in Philly, the Tasty Cakes, Philly's, renowned for that.
Yeah.
And they totally closed the whole factory and moved it somewhere else.
You see they having a garbage strike in Philadelphia?
What?
Garbage workers, sanitation workers strike, so it's all piling up. And
Here if you're looking, you can see still some of the devastation from the tornado.
Yeah.
And 70% of the people whose homes were demolished or damaged had no insurance. And they have like a whole insurance scam thing going here.
You mean the thing about how you have to give 25% of your insurance money automatically goes to the city of St. Louis?
It was interesting. Jan was telling us that the tarps and the method that they're using in the north side is much more watertight, and it's like a shrink wrap that is not available to people on the north side, and they were asking people to be paid for by insurance, which of course won't make a difference over north side.
Right.
But
Well, that is
it's
not
like
like there was anybody offering. There was nobody offering any services. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was saying, look, we know this was catastrophic, but this is what we can do to at least help you temporarily, you know, alleviate the situation. That didn't happen. Just, it didn't happen.
and they have the technology to do it. That's the thing that makes, because the tarps don't necessarily do anything. They blow off and they're not secure. But they have the technology, just don't make it available to the African community.
Well, about a week after the tornado, it rained. It wasn't like a little bit of rain. It was a lot of rain. So imagine that people didn't have tarps or barely had a tarp. You know, barely were able to cover stuff, and then the rain comes.
Another tornado, actually, like St. Peter's, they had a tornado.
And just to add too, it's like the 1-2 punch because the roof wasn't tarped and the rain came in, then the city comes along and puts a red tag condemning the houses and cuts off the power.
It was so outrageous. We were trying to get legal help to get an injunction for them to stop, like, being able to turn off people's power. And, I mean, no lawyers would talk to me or to Jesse, and we were, to anyone. We were trying to do that, and then the lawyers that were going around for that action, STL, were like saying, "Oh no, they're not going to turn off power. They're just doing this to get FEMA help, and or just outright not offering any kind of help." And it was outrageous that they could, would have any urgency. Yeah.
And then 2 days later, they turned off the power for like 5,000. What was it, 1,500 houses?
Yeah, the worst part about it was that many people had their homes were not so badly damaged where they couldn't live in them.
Yeah.
And it was this kind of indiscriminate process of going. It's like they went 1, 2, okay, red, green. Okay. Now green, yellow. Red, green, yellow, green.
And they
Just by
did it
looking at the outside of the house.
Right. Yeah.
Not even talking to the homeowners or the residents.
Right. And people had to have and when we called the building department, we called the mayor's office, and they were saying, well, there's structural damage you can't see. And I'm like, well, you'd send out an engineer then. Don't just do it. You can't see it from the sidewalk then.
Right.
And also then they made you go through in order to, like, let's say you had fixed it in the time, like before, like they red tagged them, and then people fixed the houses, and then they said, we're turning off the power. And they're like, well, we already fixed our house.
Right.
And you haven't come back out and inspected to say, okay, now we have to turn off power, and they wouldn't come back out, and then they wouldn't give you any instructions on how to get your power back on. We had to go to do a demonstration in front of the mayor's office to be able to get a
call on the phone for hours with people telling you, well, we didn't do it. It's the city. Ameren actually said we wouldn't have done it like this.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
And Ameren wouldn't take, we tried Ameren too, they wouldn't take any responsibility, and we said we were going to put an injunction on them, and, they wouldn't let you talk to anybody. It's just outrageous.
Just all the neglect is just really, that's criminal as well.
Yes.
There are plenty of people that could have been living in a lot of these places that they just let rot away.
Yeah. Whole brigades fixing them up and have a whole big campaign around it.
Well, that, and I remember when we first started, getting, kind of opening up, expressing to people the struggle that we were having, certainly with the LRA properties. People were saying how much red tape there was, with the city, all to try and get these homes that people wanted to purchase and fix up and live in.
Right. Everything to stop that from happening.
Now,
Which
address are we
parents?
going to?
I guess the one that he's walking up.
Okay.
I'm following her.
Okay.
Great conversation on the way.
That's exactly what we said across from the bakery. I think the place is so cute. Yeah, I love this gingerbread.
So this is the before and after.
Well, that's only a few. I mean, really, we needed about 40 pictures. Welcome and come in. Wow. His compliment to this morning. Putting lions on. Have you seen this? No. Oh, love that. This is.
But there's two more over there.
No, they see these little boxes, they pull out, custom made. They're little windows behind them. Beautiful. I know. So Peru.
What happened?
Windows.
Oh, that's odd. Was it like a tornado kind of thing?
I don't know, maybe it's like storage.
And come on in. All right, Peru. This is, this is Uhuru. So I just want to welcome you to this component of the Black Belt Power Blueprint. As you've heard Deputy Chair say so many times, and the Chairman, the goal is to feed, clothe, and house our people. And, we got the food thing going, the economic development thing going, all kinds of stuff like that. And this is part of house, but also it's part of the whole self-government and providing ways in the community. These houses were strategically found. 2 doors down is the second house. And backyard butts up into the big future Gico production kitchen and huge cafe. And this one doesn't butt up to it, but it's right here. So one of the things, this one was in pretty good shape, actually, in terms of the walls and stuff. It was just repair. But of course, all the electrical, all the plumbing, all of that is done from the ground up. It's got, I know you don't feel it now because we can't put the air conditioners in until we're ready to have a tenant the next day. But it's gonna have central air and heat. And so it'll be a really fantastic family home. It's got a beautiful living room, dining room. We gutted the whole kitchen, the bathroom upstairs. If you wanna look at the kitchen. And people were in here this morning putting their blinds up. That's why you see all this little
So
debris.
is it a fundraiser? Is that how
It will
we?
be, it will be in the beginning for sure. It will pay for itself. in
Yes.
terms of The renovations, because this is expensive. Got a basement, yeah, it's a fabulous house.
Do you know?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty
This
good.
house
Hot
is-
side, right? You'll get it.
Yeah.
Very.
I really am.
Let me see. Don't push the toilet to run the water. The plumbing is still, there's still an opening in the basement. So, yeah, Don't, well, it's boarded up. But they got huge backyards, got a pantry, we have refrigerators and stoves, and we have relationships with a lot of different
Yes, from Alabama.
Oh, wow, how long did that take you?
6.5 hours.
And another way, that's not bad.
No, it was fun drive. I never drove up. I've only driven down the Gulf, East was last year, but it's never up. So this is a great opportunity. Adorable.
Jesse, did you see the upstairs? And it's got another bathroom.
That's not what it used to look like.
This looks like a two-story from the outside.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, I wonder if this is like a master bed.
Wow.
Yeah, it's big. But it's a really great family house. You know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this will be ready to rent right away. Oh, nice. Yeah, there's all these cool things, you know.
It is a single-family home, though, right?
It's a single-family home.
Okay.
But the occupancy said 6 people.
Okay.
Knowing it could really fit 7.
Right.
They don't want, and we don't want to list over 6.
Right.
So it says George and doesn't share.
Right. So you talk about a mother and a father, basically, and 2 to 3 kids. When they leave one person out there, right.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Literally, the Jico, the yard on this one goes out back. And literally, the Jico yard comes right up to the end of it. So it could extend the Jico yard. Was the one next door, the house ends, and there's the Jico yard here. So we're going to drive by there. So,
Is that a blackberry?
how many? So there's this one and the other one right there. And then there's another house close to the house. And then there's the Gary Brooks house, which was going to be combination commercial or whatever, but now it's going to be all commercial.
There's 2 other houses that are part of this program. There's the apartment above the radio station.
Okay.
If it's going to be used as that. And then there's another house up there.
The time when I was trying, was it with you or somewhere I couldn't get
Oh,
to?
you couldn't get in because of a lot of condos.
About a meal.
Yep.
Yeah.
But even in the flats.
In the flats.
Is it this core? Right. That, you can see the bushes on that side, that's the Jico.
Yeah.
Oh, little bit. Cut off a lot in half on one side.
Well, we are going to.
There were one here. And the one, this one. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna drive around the corner. And you'll see the Great American Boathouse. Everybody in St. Louis knows the boathouse. And as soon as APDF bought it, everybody was like, I wanted that. You know, so kind of, you know, but that's where the Jico is going to be. We're not going in there today. We want to show you some of the devastation in the bill.
Yeah.
What? Where was he? Where did he have the flat tire? Close to Columbus?
It's in Indianapolis. Where was it? Indianapolis?
You have a bar, keep going, bar, sure. March it up, march it up.
So we're just gonna drive by Gico. Have you seen it?
Nope.
It's like, wow, like owning a home.
The big kitchen that used to be a boat dealership.
Yeah, I think I went by there one time.
Okay.
Just on my own.
Drive by the Gico kitchen and then not go in there. And then go look at the
Oh, Janice, I took your spot. It's a coveted middle seat. That is such a cute little house. Oh wow, look, that window's open right there in the very front. That's not a house. Oh, it's not? Oh yeah.
And then they've been trying to get that house, and then they had a big fire. Because that's right. They wanted to, it butts right up against the garden. They wanted to expand it and get the parking lot. Right. For the Gico Kitchen Cafe, which is going to be right there.
Every time APDF tries to buy something, there's a mysterious fire.
Isn't that amazing?
I remember the mysterious fire in the original movie.
So this is it, the infamous boathouse that
That market used to be
Oh, so-
It was operating when we first bought the building. It was
Really?
operating. Yeah.
Wow.
It used to be open. We tried to even buy that, to find who owned the property.
They just destroy the neighborhood so fast.
Well, all it takes, I mean, with this weather is a couple of rains and, a couple, strong wind, and, that's it. And remember that some of these places are over 100 years old, and I'm just kind of coming to understand the whole thing with bricks is that you still have to maintain it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to do something to it. But one, if people are not given that kind of instruction, two, they don't have that kind of money, then it just continues to deteriorate. It's like, the grout or whatever on your bathtub. You get a little hole in it, and then water keeps seeping in, or these places are wood, on wood and drywall on the inside, and it just deteriorates.
But also, in terms of that grocery store, where's the nearest grocery store now? It's like they make...
We're about to come past it. This is the closest grocery store for people on the north side, which is this Schnucks up here, which is the only Schnucks in the city that closes at 9 o'clock. All the rest of them close at least 10, and outside of the city, I think some of them actually even close at 11. But this one closes at 9, and if you get there at 8:50, you may not be able to get in. Which means they don't close at 9, it means they close at 8:50. Or they close whenever they feel like closing.
Right. But
this is it. imagine we are about 10 minutes away from the Uhura house. If you don't have a car,
Right.
how do you get over here? And all you need is, you know, just some bread or some lunch meat or whatever for the kids. And you're not going to get that out of the corner store.
They don't hardly have corner stores around here compared to like in Philly. You know, they're like on every block practically.
And even the gas stations don't have real food. I mean, even chips sometimes they don't have. They have like nothing. I've never seen it.
You barely get water.
Right.
Cold water is that. Flat soda.
I just saw a Jamaican food place back there. You know about that?
Yeah.
It had Jamaican flag and it was a Jamaican.
I did not know that.
It's just not a little shopping center.
Well, I will have to investigate.
I know. I thought you might be interested.
I will have to investigate.
What is this Natural Bridge or are we on?
Yeah. Yeah, this is not. On this vacant lot right here, you had a whole bunch of people, one of the areas where they had a whole bunch of people set up that were giving away, you know, food and water. But we're just about getting ready to enter the devastation zone, if you will, where some of the most horrific damage happened. And if we, I don't know if we're gonna go, just keep going straight or not, but if we go,
Yeah, I think on the left-hand side, just coming up.
Yeah.
Is the Animal House and Wildlife Paradise.
Yeah. Which is the one with the little pillars on the terrace there. That's the animal of what? Managed to be unscathed. All this that you see that is torn down, look at this. All this is damage from the tornado. I don't know if we're gonna go.
It was all in the street. I mean, this is nice.
Look down these streets. You can still see tarps. All of this that's torn down is. I don't know if we're gonna go straight.
I think we're gonna go down.
We're gonna go down Newstead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will we be able to stop for a minute on Newstead so we can get some pictures? Or
I
not?
don't know. I don't.
some of these are LRA properties that they've never fixed up. Most of these, you see with the numbers and stuff on them, and they're LRA properties. But all of this is from the tornado.
And the LRA is, their stuff fell on people's homes that in existence.
Right.
You know, that they're
All of
not,
this
they're not
is-
paying for. Look, there's an African flag.
Yeah, and I saw a white guy standing out there with a gun on his. And I never, and there was no red, black, and green flag though.
Look at that.
But here, this is the guy that was on the news that's been feeding the community, living in his 18-wheeler right here since the tornado.
Wow.
All of this, everything you see here that is being cleaned up or picked up. This is African cleaners here. That's where the chairman would take his clothes. That's been demolished. Look at this. Yep, look at this.
Can you roll the window down?
Let's take a picture.
A lot of it wasn't even occupied and or owned by the city. People just kind of, like they just walked away. Here's somebody here that probably will never get any help. All of this. There's another street with tarps all on it. Tarps here, tarps everywhere.
There's one street, I think it was New Street. No, maybe not New Street. We went that way and came back up, and like literally every house was on the ground. It was just incredible.
See, they're real. That place has a green tag on it, and clearly.
Yeah, green tag.
Yeah. How did all this stuff get green tags? All this got green tags.
There was no tax over on the other area.
Exactly.
Just all the empty land. It's like those used to be communities, houses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shops.
And the level of decay even before the tornado, like affects people emotionally, physically, their health. And now with all the, the dust and the micro, stuff that you breathe in, it's like an attack on the people's health on every level.
And there's been no real encouragement from the city, you know, to people to go to FEMA, go, you know.
Right.
All they did was set up, people came down with food trucks and, you know, were feeding people and giving them water and.
No long-term help, no help to fix your house.
No. You couldn't get a tarp. Yep.
And in that one meeting, people were saying that they got rejected by FEMA.
Right.
And then all the city could say, or FEMA was, well, just apply again.
Well, what I noticed about, you know, like the adjusters, that was, they don't, it's not like they're really doing, you know, a serious kind of investigation and you know, look at this.
Right.
And a lot of these, again, are properties that are either are owned or the city has knowledge of the fact that they're empty. And they're going to spend millions of dollars now to tear down all of their at least 20 some odd, if they say LRA properties. Now she's going to get on the back of this bike and already scared.
And they're using the FEMA money.
More. Yeah. But the people on the church,
wow.
Well, keep in mind also too that back in March, there was, it just did not carry as much wind as this one did. Now see, that's got red, and obviously somebody lived in it.
That's yellow and it's total dark.
Yeah.
It's so arbitrary.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can tell people lived in some of these places.
Yeah.
They would know whether they needed to get out or not. But what they did was when they turned the power back on and didn't provide a process for people to be able to get their power turned back on, and then were telling people that the red tag meant that the structure was unsafe, that you had to leave. That wasn't absolutely correct. You didn't have to leave. But they put this fear into people, and someone even said that the fire department or somebody was at someone's home that had a red tag on it telling them that they had to leave. So people, they walked away, you know what I'm saying? And then if there's no direction, then you don't come back.
And that was deliberate by the city to do that.
Yep.
They're trying to scare people.
They did that on purpose.
Getting people out.
Yep, and then to say that we want you to stay in this community is an absolute lie. It's just a lie. Because if you wanted people to stay, you would have done more even before now. People would not have suffered this kind of a devastation. See, all this stuff, this is LRA stuff. But they just don't do nothing to it.
And LRA gets it if people don't pay their taxes for over 3 years, or if people walk away. So it's another land grab. It's a way that they've amassed all this wealth at the expense of the people.
The whole insurance racket that they have going on here is just unbelievable. And they counted on, after this disaster, people not being able to find the deeds and the records.
Yeah.
And a lot of these are heirs' property, and people just, for everybody don't take care of business. You know what I'm saying? Or don't even think that they're gonna have to. You know.
Maybe never even had, you know.
Well, it
was just passed down.
Exactly.
From generation
Exactly. And they make it so difficult to take care of it. It's not like they want to help you. They want to put every roadblock in your way.
And everyone says it's not, I don't know, you gotta ask somebody else.
Yeah.
Or like making people pay for the putting copper lines to the city.
Yep.
Water. You know, the city should do that. That's part of the infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly. It's when you pay your taxes.
Is this O'Fallon Park?
No, this is Fairgrounds.
This is Fairgrounds. The amount of trees that were lost is going to create.
Well, if you see O'Fallon Park, it is
stumps.
It is
stumps.
It's the I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine. And the worst part about it is that it's not like they planted a little seedling, even planted a seedling now to begin to grow. They just cut it all down. But what I thought about too, though, is that, you know, unfortunately, this O'Fallon Park, you know, has a bad reputation. And that clearing it like that makes it much easier for them to vamp on the community if they're in there. Because now they can see everything.
Yeah.
You know? And even if if nothing's happening, if they just want to be up there to harass people, now they got a straight shot from West Florissant all the way down there to the freeway to be able to see up in that park.
Oh, there's no shade to hang out in.
And the people, that's
like
and that's
the
what you
place
go
to
to a park
for,
exactly.
yes, for the trees and the
Yeah,
shade.
you go to the park to cool out, kick back under a shade tree. Took it all the way.
There's another abandoned school.
A whole school.
Shut down all the schools in the African community.
Yep. I mean, they didn't even make them into, you know, use them for
Big
something
senior
else.
housing or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do that? Why ever would you do a thoughtful thing like that? That's so thoughtful.
I saw somewhere where they did that. They turned this school into senior housing, and people love it. They've got like a fitness center where the gym used to be, and they've got cafeteria, and they've got independent living. You know, you get your own apartment. It's perfect.
Makes
Big halls, so in case you have a wheelchair or something, you can get down.
Yep.
Yep. And the thing they do too is
so much sense that the city of St. Louis ain't even thinking about it. They're not even considering it.
And what they do is blame the community. 'Cause see, I read this article where they're saying schools are closing down, we're going to have to consolidate, and it means that kids will be going to school with their enemies, and it'll mean war. And
what?
It'll mean that kids will be going to school with their enemies from other neighborhoods, and so it'll be like war and violence. But, I mean, you know, it's like the war and violence is already happening to the community, and make it seem like it's just the people's fault.
They plant that seed.
Yeah.
And you know, then it begins to grow. And then
I'm just gonna run by O'Fallon Park.
Okay.
Show Indigo.
Great. Air feels great.
You seen the house, the Reparations investment house, Indigo?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll just drive by real quick. It's just right down here. Yeah, this is O'Fallon Park. This used to be a plantation, right? This was Colonel O'Fallon's plantation.
See all these they're huge stumps.
Yeah.
All the trees.
Now, keep in mind, they also had not absolutely cleaned up from the last thing, the March not tornado that they said was just a bad storm.
This is the house, Indigo. Beautiful, beautiful house. Four apartments, fourplex. And it had a gorgeous view of the lake that's right over there where all the birds are in that little island over there. All these gorgeous trees. Now it's just like a graveyard for trees. It's incredible. They lost how many thousands of trees? 5,000 or something.
Care.
Oh, in this house we were going to get that one too, and it just fell down.
Yeah, but you see these homes here, you know, people are still just trying to keep the water out. Almost 2 months, and people are just now being able to get some type of, well, some aren't getting anything.
Yeah.
Right. And some of the people that you see getting work done may have had insurance. That's the only reason why they're getting, you know, the notice of anything done.
Right.
Because the the program, I was reading that paper that they so proudly passed around like it was a big deal. It's a loan.
Oh God.
I was like, what? I read it. I was like,
Their
well, hell,
loans,
everybody
and
should
they have a lien. In order to get the loan, you have to get a lien on your house.
Right.
So
And
if you don't pay it, then you lose your
for a
house.
single person, your income has to be $62,000. That's your qualifier. I said, well, guess there won't be very many people taking advantage of that program.
I hope they cut all that down. That's good. At least somewhat. Wow.
Thank
Okay.
you for driving, Allie. Thank
Yeah.
you for the tour at Kenya.
Great.
The wasp nest.
In the meantime, I'll try and
Well, I was thinking if I could get them to fly away, then you can knock the thing down.
Jesse wants another picture. We've been down there. I accidentally had on
Giving them their own because that's like that's so role and like I was on registration. Yeah. You know, so that became my role because I was the bringing phone. And then the other person didn't make it. really gonna be on my trip to see, but even so, I don't know if you there's like, and there's so many things like, you know, this person gave free donor, this person.
I didn't realize, I thought it was
Right.
Eagle one that.
I know, and there's things like that, yeah, it takes a lot.
But there's another one that's inside these houses.
And actually,
And it's like this little.
I was
paddle.
to me as a person, it was fun, you know, like maybe two people